Hello, my name is Mark Grissom. I'm the author of the book, The Art of Cooperative Intelligence. And today I want to present your organization an opportunity to become a cooperative and intelligent organization. Before we get to that point though, I want to ask a very important question. So take a moment and write the answers to this question down because we're going to refer back to this. What, or how I should say, has society prepared you through all your education, all your training, all your mentoring, all your followership, all your leading, all your experiences, everything that you can use to pull information from to make decisions and to influence outcomes? How has society prepared you to be able to recognize, analyze, map, monitor, influence, and improve cooperation-based environments and activities? Next question. How has society prepared anyone around you in your organization to do the same? We're talking about cooperation. We're talking about understanding from discipline to the outcome or objective, how to get there. What is the map? If I ask you, can you provide me a map of any of your cooperative environments, could you do that? How about your cooperative activities? The answer is very likely no. How can it be no when society can't exist without cooperation? In your organizational outcomes, almost every one of them that are critical or semi-critical or just relevant are dependent on cooperation-based environments and activities. How do we miss that? Cooperation is so vague and vast that people don't consider it really a measurable thing. So what you have is, you have a representation of every activity between people, systems, and structures, current, past, future, everything globally wrapped up. That's cooperation. It is hugely vast and complex. So what we have coming up is an opportunity to actually transition cooperation from being something vast and vague to something intellectually consumable by making it a performance-based concept. Cooperative performance science is this tool. Cooperative performance science purpose is to allow society and organizations to be able to develop a standardized, transferable, and evolving cooperative intelligence. This cooperative intelligence is absolute across every interaction between people, systems, and structures. Think about that for a moment. If you're looking face to face, you and a child, that's a cooperative environment. If you're looking at you and an employee, that's a cooperative environment. If you're looking at company to company, that's a cooperative environment. But so is person to machine or computer. So is society to society. So is the IRS to you. That's a cooperative environment. If every crucial, semi-crucial, or just relevant outcome in an organization is dependent on the cooperative environments and activities that occur within it, how can we not make that a priority for both society and for organizations? We have to. And that's what cooperative performance science does. Let me shift gears here just for a second. Go back and think for just a minute when you first saw the periodic table of elements. It was in your chemistry class. This huge, huge looking display of different elements and their weights and so forth. Right? So you take this, let's remove that for a second. Then the basis of our current understanding of chemistry is gone. Researchers, chemists, scientists, scholars began trying to put together some correlation with these elements. They found some correlation, and then once they established a baseline, they started plugging in other elements into this. That is how it's evolved. And think about, again, if you take that away, that knowledge away, how does it impact science today or chemistry? Well, cooperative performance science is made up of several different models and methodologies related to those models. We're not going to cover everything in depth, but I just want to run through a few of them real quick. The cooperative performance science model is the periodic table for cooperation. It shows us how to convert, track, monitor, analyze anything you want to do with cooperative environments and activities, from discipline up through the outcome. Everything. Everything that you've learned in psychology, everything that you've learned in sociology, everything that you've learned in organizational science, and what you will learn from the sciences that I've presented or that I'm bringing to life, the cooperative sciences, everything is interrelated. And it fits somewhere in to this mental construct, or the big picture of cooperation, or cooperative performance, I should say. Within this cooperative science model includes the foundational model of cooperative performance science, and that is the cooperative performance model, which is made up of 13 principles. Somewhat like a multi-story building, the cooperative performance model allows us to go in hierarchy order up the principles, from the foundation up. What this allows us to do is it allows us to take and identify what's between the principles, no matter what field it is, no matter what industry it is, no matter what relationship it is. Once you have those, what I call absolutes, or the things that prevent the next level or the next principle from being achieved, then you can go back in and put your criticals. Absolute prevents, criticals could prevent. You can also expand that to other things, but the idea is that your end user for that cooperative environment can map those activities from discipline to the outcome. That's crucially important. Also, in the cooperative performance science model, the big picture, it includes the cooperative engagement model, which demonstrates where the lines are between protection and and freedom. Think about this in society. We have no idea, even in organizations, we have no idea where the boundaries are, where the lines are in our behavior. What is harmful, what is not harmful, where do we act, where do we not act. Everything that you're looking at, from sexual harassment to the flag to basically anything that anybody's saying now is becoming so emotional because we don't have any boundaries. Imagine driving and not having a speed limit sign but getting pulled over. Nobody's telling you what speed it is, what speed you're supposed to go, what the speed limit is. But you're held accountable for something that's not there. So this cooperative engagement model also allows you to be able to see how people are acting and how they're influencing the environment. Are they using unifying language or divisive language? What is the path that it follows if you use unifying language? Then you have unifying behaviors, and then you condition people to experience unifying behaviors. Those things change people as to being divisive in what you say, how you say it. Also, you have the cooperative trending model. The cooperative trending model says, okay, what direction is your environment going? Because if you recognize that your environment is going in a bad direction, trying to catch it early is a very good thing. If you can catch it early, you can transition those things around smartly. If you don't, you go and you follow into a Texas City, a 9/11, a Pearl Harbor, just about any other thing, a man-made natural disaster or contributing disaster. We go in and we spend a lot of money mapping it throughout the entire process. Cooperative performance science allows us to do that on the front end, so we can be cooperatively intelligent to prevent those things from happening in the first place. Also, in this particular cooperative performance science model, the big picture, the mental construct that we can use for cooperation, we have the cooperative disciplines model that talks about mutual relationships, neutrality, mutually respective is what I was trying to say. Rather than saying that we need to tolerate people and that's our objective in society, what we need to establish is mutual respect. Because tolerance is, I'm going to let you exist. That doesn't mean I'm going to treat you fair. Mutual respect allows us to be able to say, you know what, I disagree with you, but what we're going to do is we're not going to treat you differently. I'm going to treat you neutrally. that's a big difference in our definitions in society. We've got to change that across even in our organizations. Additionally, what it looks at is unifying identities. A unifying identity, such as the flag. Some people are offended when you bring up the flag because they're saying you're talking about the flag, which is disrespecting somebody else. You have to have a unifying identity for the cooperative environment to be successful when you have subgroups that are not necessarily agreeing with each other. That unifying identity gives you the ability as an organization, and within your organization, even if you have conflict, to be able to say, we together are going to solve our problems. Division in organizations or in society, well, that's how people fall. I guess what people used to say all the time is divide and conquer. So that unifying identity and other things in the cooperative discipline models applies to cooperative environments and activities. Also in the cooperative performance science model is a cooperative intelligence model. That particular model it pulls in different elements of psychology, sociology, organizational science, and cooperative science. It kind of identifies the different human variables, the different social variables, the different organizational variables, health. It pulls in everything that I could think of to be able to say, hey, what influences cooperative behavior? So when you look at this in a big picture for the cooperative performance science model, what you're looking at is that mental construct that says we can trend it, we can map it, we know the variables that are influenced by it, we know how to engage each other and communicate with each other. When you pull all these things together, like I said before, this is your periodic table for cooperation. And it allows us to turn cooperation into a measurable concept. So the question we come to the end of this presentation is, if cooperation-dependent environments and activities drive everything in your organization, and everything in your organization is dependent on those environments and activities, shouldn't that be your priority? And that brings us to the final question, I guess. And that is, if it's not your priority, what if it is your competitor's priority? And they can see, they can analyze, they can monitor, they can influence, and they can improve their cooperative environments, activities, and their outcomes. Where does that put you as an organization? Right now, we're on a level playing field because cooperative intelligence, cooperative performance science certified cooperative intelligence is new and upcoming. So what I'm asking you to consider is to take what I've said, think about it. Think about those questions that you wrote down about how do you see cooperative environments and activities? How can you map it? How can you see it? How can you improve it? How do the people around you do it? And if you can't answer that question, you're not a cooperatively intelligent organization, but shouldn't you be?